personally, I feel like if you ain't gonna do it more than just a bottle, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
whatever this PH dude is going through, whatever his struggles or his demons is, he gonna have to find a purpose to stop this. So whatever the purpose is, like sometimes your own kids don't be your purpose. It's gotta be whatever you realize, you know what I'm saying, for yourself enough to stop. Because like me personally, I feel like if you ain't gonna do it for nobody, do it for your kids. But sometimes that's not enough. So
No, it ain't enough.
sometimes that's not enough. Some people can say, man, I don't give a fuck. Some people choose girls over their own kids, niggas over their own kids, like whatever. Gambling. So that don't be enough. So it's about you and what you stand for, you know what I'm saying? Like your life might be more than what that bottle is, you know what I'm saying? It's these situations. So he chose his life, his health over the alcohol. It's gotta be something that you prioritize more than whatever your addiction is. So whatever.
No, 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 no. I think that, which, everybody has an opinion. I have one too. In his circumstance, I believe that it is depression. And I believe he's depressed because he's not able to have man, I used to have a hat. I met this young lady once. I used to hitchhike from coast to coast there for about 6 years. And I met a lot of interesting people. This one woman had a hat on, and she said, "All I ever wanted is a normal life." And there are a lot of people that can identify with that statement. Maybe you have children and you're not able to be the father that you need to be, or you didn't get along with the woman. You can't have the family life that you wish you had. Your life didn't turn out the way it is. I know I'm that way in a lot of ways. And it's why I listen to the good doctor a lot, because she does say some things. She irritates the fuck out of me sometimes, but she says some things that are really constructive things to hear. And this is about mental health. And I agree with one thing: you need to have something that means more than your addiction, because your addiction is an escape. For me, my CDL license was everything, literally everything. When I had that DUI, that just took the sales out of everything. And that's why I ask people. I says, before you go now, let me excuse me. Let me make myself perfectly clear, because I think people misunderstand. When I make comments or suggesting or critiquing behavior, it's not making myself better than anyone. Au contraire, I am absolutely not the role model at all, and I'm not trying to be one. I'm simply saying that a lot of the stuff that you guys are doing, I did way back in the 1990s. All of that stuff y'all doing in these trucks, every bit of it, I did all of that. And I cannot stress it enough. You got to ask yourself, if you lost your CDL license, would you be okay standing on your feet all day? What other job would you do? I know people have these bright ideas. They're just going to quit trucking and do this and do that and the third. But one thing trucking does do, you don't have to be as physical. We're not really unloading trucks unless you're skinny and young and you in early in your career you fall in love with that. Well, I didn't. I didn't like any of the tire loads. I didn't like unloading Dollar General loads or Family Dollar and all that shit on those racks and shit that they roll in them rollers and all that. I didn't like all that unloading Kmart loads, touching every single box in a 53. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. Maybe you'll fall in love with that. Well, goody for you. But most of us don't do anything but make sure we don't have accidents, traffic tickets, and get from point A to point B on time, according to the laws, within reason, the ELD laws, or the logbook rules and regulations, right? But once you've been out here for like a decade or so, your body's may pick up weight. And if it does, you're not going to want to stand around a lot. You're not going to want to do a lot of walking. And so I agree with the advice of DB, where people need to be more energetic and do some more exercising. But let's be honest, truckers don't have the energy that we used to. So I said that to say this: if you lost your CDL license, you think you'll just pick up and go back to selling dope or some shit. I understand where you're coming from. I don't think you're going to be successful. I don't. In today's society, things have changed a whole lot. If you're going to do some self-destructive stuff, or if you're going to live in that world, you need to go to an environment where it's tolerated. Does that make sense? I can't say it enough. If you can't be good, you need to be good at it. You need to go somewhere where it's tolerated. But if you're just going to go back to the block where you came from and think everything's the same, you'll mess around and catch another case. Or you're going to be like Kobe. You hang around your old friends, mess around, and that nature that you have stays on the surface there. Next thing you know, you get an argument with your woman or something in the house, and you end up picking up 2-3 cases. Cases that could carry 20 years. So I'm saying, addiction. You may go through phases as I did. I went through the PlayStation phase and the Xbox phase, and you might not want to keep all that shit in the truck. And after you drive 500 miles a day, you are going to get tired of pulling all that shit out, hooking it up, and playing, some kind of game online and all this types of shit. You're not going to want to do that every day. I don't even know how some of these guys go on YouTube day and night. I don't know how they do it and drive trucks. I really don't. I don't know how they do it. I can only suspect that they do it while driving, right? Which, it's one thing to listen to something on background while driving. That's the same as listening to the radio, okay? I get that. But if you're moderating lives and stuff like that while driving, one of these days you may mess around and have an accident. And if you do, if there's a fatality, I just want to let you know now, if someone dies, everything on your cellular, everything attached to your social security number will be investigated by everybody. You can forget about what your employer, just forget about all that. You need to think about what these damn attorneys and state's attorneys are going to do to find out what you were doing at the time the accident actually occurred. And if they find out that you were moderating a YouTube page or something, or making a Facebook video or something, or doing FaceTime or something while the accident occurred, that's vehicular homicide. And depending on whether or not you have a criminal record, your sentence could be like quadruple. Now, I'm going to tell you up front, vehicular homicide may be 5 years, maybe 10 years, but if you're a repeat offender, they could boost that shit up to 15, 20 years. I'm just letting you know, if you're a repeat offender, it could really hurt you. So now, I know we are all human, and this video is about addiction. But I found out that you have to have a hobby to replace the habit that you have. And you got to have something that's more important, or you have to have something to lose. How about that? Because most people that have addictions have already lost things, family, relationships. They've already lost all that. But now you need something that's more important than all that. To me, I found out that a trucking has bed in it, air conditioning, cash advance if you need one. You're never going to be hungry. You get to travel and see the country for free, and it provides income for food and for your entertainment, your telephone, your laptop, all of the things that you need to enjoy or at least tolerate being a human on this planet Earth, right? Trucking hits all of the boxes. Now, if you're a family person, trucking's not going to hit all the boxes because you're going to want to be home. So now you got some choices. Do you want to put your significant other in the truck with you? This is a confined space. Some people that works. And some people, or most people, that shit don't work. For most people, I'm going to say it again. I've been driving a long time. Very few relationships survive living in the truck for like years. It happens. You'll see, what's that guy named Tricky and Red or whatever they call him? Tricky and Red or Juicy and Red or what, I don't know what their name is. They seem to be doing fine. Married to the Miles. Doesn't she have a husband? Is it Married to the Miles, I think? There's a few people that are out here, husband, that do great in this environment, right? But most relationships don't survive living and existing and working in this confined environment for years and years and years and years and years, and normally does not last very long. All right, I'm just going to tell you, it's just a fact. So, anyway, those are my thoughts for the moment. I just wanted to throw my hat in the ring on this addiction thing because drivers were saying tonight, and oh yeah, I clipped it. I sure did. That there's a lot of drivers out here that still doing things that maybe they shouldn't be doing in this industry. And I'm here to tell you, as soon as you get caught, man, I know you say if you get your own authority, you bypass all that. Well, you know what? They have not been enforcing the laws that are on the books because if you really want to know the truth, I'm going to tell it to you. These scale houses have a legal right to give you a random test right there in the scale house. Now, I haven't seen it done in my whole trucking career, but I want you to know if you were to go online and look, the law is on the books. They're just not doing it. But if they think you're under the influence, they can give you a random test right there in the goddamn scale house. Just food for thought here, just letting you know. And my other tip to you is if you can't be good at it. Then transition to edibles at the very least. Because there's no odor to it. There's nothing to smell. Look, I should have even said that because that would indicate that I'm trying to support that behavior, and I'm not trying to support the behavior because I know where it leads, and I've already been down that road, and I've already been punished for that. And today's punishments are worse. Well, yeah, they're worse today than they were 20 years ago. I'll put it to you like that. It seems better because you say, well, you get in the SAP program. Sounds good. Where are you going to work at? A dump truck company? A trucking company is going to pay you half of what you're worth? How long are you going to tolerate that? You're experienced. They know you are. I remember when I got back in the industry, they started me back at the very bottom. Like I had just got out of trucking school. They didn't give me no credit for the experience that I already had. It was very painful. I was very upset. But if I wanted to start over, that's where I had to start. And that's a very difficult decision to come to. Now, for me now. Now, I understand where y'all come. Y'all's generation is different. You're going to come back, and what you're going to try to do is talk an owner-operator into letting you lease one of their trucks, and you start off as an owner-operator, and then you skip everything. I get that, but you're still in the SAP program. You're still going to be in the SAP program. And I'm just telling you, it's not worth it. Anyway, those are my thoughts for the moment. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Get you a hobby. I don't know what that's going to be. Back in the day, we had cassettes. So I started listening to audiobooks. And religion only works so long. I don't care how much you pray. I can sit here and discuss religion for you for 12 hours. Literally. Religion is not going to solve your problem. You can pray now, you can pray all day, you can fast now, fast all day. That is not going to solve the problem. As the pastor will say, before you get out of the church building, the same devils will be in your mind all over everywhere. The same temptations will be there 5 minutes from now that were there before you went in that tabernacle. Those same demons are going to be there. Your same environment. And I learned a lesson that none of y'all are going to probably understand. They had a guy named Major Nelson. It was a show called I Dream of Jeannie. And Major Nelson, I was in rehab in LA one year. And I used to rehab hop. Los Angeles, you could go to Los Angeles homeless and you could just well, probably not now. Hell, there's so many homeless people, you probably can't near do what I was doing. But I could just, I could just hop from program to program and then go back to panhandling or something, or trying to get a job. And then you hear no a few more times and then you give up on life and go back to, just doing what you were doing because you kind of give up. I went through these cycles, right? But in one of these rehab programs, Major Nelson said to quit smoking cigarettes. You take a brand new pack of cigarettes, you open up the box, take the plastic over the top, that little thing around the top, that little gold thing, open up the box, take the foil out of it, close the box cigarette pack back up, put it in your shirt pocket. It's the stupidest thing I ever heard. But here, 15, 20 years later, it had to be at least that long. Anyway, I remember that when they told me I was going to die in 3 years. I did that, and for a week and a half, I would keep it in my shirt pocket, and then sometime during the day, I'd say, fuck it. I would open it up and smoke a cigarette, and then I would throw the whole cigarette pack out the window, right? I did that for about a week and a half, and next thing you know, I just quit. So ever since then, I keep my sins close to me. Now, this is going to sound ridiculous. I keep a shooter in my bedroom, brand new, in a paper bag, and it's been there since maybe 2005 or something like that. Now, for a person like me to abstain that long, that's 21 years. No, it's 20 years. That is a miracle. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know why that works. I got that from Major Nelson. Now, you might try that, and that may backfire. Listen to me. I'm telling you, where I live at, they sell dope 24 hours a day, literally right outside my door, on the block I live on. 24 hours a day. Anything you want 24 hours a day. It's an open air market every day, all night, every night. And I've abstained. So I've mastered myself. Now, what you have to do to master your inner self, I don't know what that's going to take for you. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be fear of going to prison. Maybe it's going to be fear of losing your wife. Maybe it's going to be fear that you're going to die, as it was for me. You're going to die suddenly within 3 years. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe, I don't know what that it is going to be. But as this young lady says, you got to find something that's more important to you than family. And when you find that something, you need to hold on to that. Because you got to have a reason. Anyway, those are my thoughts for the now. See, I said all that. Somebody's going to make a video and say, oh, did you know all this? Oh, big, badass, goddamn heavyweight. Did you know this? Okay, well, guess what? I don't mind being vulnerable. It don't bother me in the least bit. Maybe sometimes when you can see where somebody's been and then you see where you currently are, maybe you can learn from where they've been, and maybe that can help you come out of where you, as some pastor told me one time, don't look at your circumstances as being so horrible. Just look at it, this is what I'm coming out of. Look at it that way. Look at it as this is something I'm coming out of. And that will help you deal with it from another different perspective. Now, I don't understand the psychological aspect of that. I just know the power of positive thinking doesn't work. Anyway, those are my thoughts for the moment. God damn, is that 19 minutes again? Well, I'm going to have to make shorts.